A month ago, hardly anyone outside of his family and friends knew who Oliver Anthony was. Since then, he has had the #1 song in the country with his working class song Rich Men North of Richmond, has been the subject of debate at the GOP presidential debates, and has literally taken over the music industry. And in this video, Oliver Anthony gives his opinion on the current state of country music. And after you've heard what Oliver has to say, be sure to let me know what you think in the comments. Do you agree with Oliver Anthony about what he has to say about country music today? Now, although a month ago, Oliver Anthony was a nobody, you know you're a big deal when Joe Rogan invites you onto his podcast. Now, I've heard Joe say before that his podcast is booked up months in advance, so there's no telling how many big and famous people Oliver Anthony jumped in front of to talk with Joe Rogan. And it comes as no surprise that Oliver and Joe talked about the current state of country music. And this is what Oliver Anthony had to say. Music has, country in particular, but music in general, has gotten wrapped up in this algorithm of how many beats per minute it needs to have, and how many verses, and how they need to be layered. And it's like they've almost created this sort of industry standard OSHA rulebook of how music needs to be performed. And so you can only do that so many thousands of times before people are like, okay, what else is there? Now, I think anyone older than the age of 25 that listens to country music realizes that so many country songs sound very much the same. Song after song, beat after beat, lyric after lyric. It's the exact reason we're seeing so many so-called outsiders in today's country music. Because people agree with Oliver, they are ready for something different. And that's why someone like Oliver Anthony, an outsider himself, an everyday country boy, rough around the edges, but very, very passionate in his delivery, rocketed up to the top of the charts faster than any song in the history of American music. Millions of people desperately want what Nashville refuses to give them. But why does Oliver think his style and music has taken off so quickly? Well, he talks about that too. This is what he says. It's funny because originally that song wasn't even in my top 5. I've written songs with similar messages, but as far as anthem format is what people are calling it, that's not something I would normally write. And I had no idea that song would react like it did. At least in my case, I think the one thing that has helped me too is that my singing isn't the best, but I've never had any vocal lessons or anything, so the way I sing is just the way I sing. It's maybe rough around the edges. It can be a little pitchy, or you're not using the right part of your face when you project or whatever. So on paper things aren't quite right. But I guess to another human, it sounds right because it is what it is. So what do you think? Do you agree with Oliver that today's country music seems to come from the same factory that is devoid of life, passion, and real life experiences? Well, please let me know in the comments. And as always, thanks for stopping by. Until next video, y'all take care.